Mary O'Brien.
And I'm Tobin Harold.
And this is our home in Los Alamos, built in 1958, that we installed heat pumps in recently.
All of the numbers you're seeing in this engineering design are to design temperature. So they're the extreme numbers. The 1 percentile, the 9 degrees, when it's been cloudy for 3 or 4 days, there's snow on the ground and we're at 9 degrees. That's the 1 percentile in Los Alamos. And then at the other end is the 87 degrees, the really hot days, the number of hours in a year that are actually 87 or hotter is a 1 percentile at the top. But it's nice to know what this unit can deliver at those temperatures. We spend a lot of time thinking about which equipment and what the loads are, where we're going to put this and that. We spend a lot of time on these load calculations. So here is the final document that I used in calculating the load for your system. I always do it so that I can tell you and we design it correctly for you so we're not undersized. This single unit, I've got sort of handling this whole area. This is transferable to the next owner, not that you're planning to leave, but 12 years on the parts from the manufacturer, then we provide 7 years labor warranty. There's 2 tax credits that I'm going to help you with. Number 1 is on the federal side, and that's the $2,000 for a heat pump that you have installed. When you file your 2023, make sure to include these documents, okay?
Perfect.
Right? The other part of this is the state tax credit, and that's up to a couple $1,000. And that it depends on when all the inspections are done. I will get that information to you when you have it, and then as soon as that happens, you can file or apply with the state stuff using this information. So here's where you put in your amount of money, the cost. So you're going to put that in, and it's going to be a big number. They allow you up to $2,000. See that? So here are the instructions.
Ooh.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
I will say, I don't think there's any other HVAC companies in the state that
want to deal with this.
That want to deal with it. Nobody else is getting this done. And that's because it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's total pain.
Which works in our favor because it is limited, right?
That is true. Remember, there's only so many millions of dollars
Yeah.
through the calendar year, and if anybody applies and it closes up. Now, there's 3 ways to control this, right? The handheld one is what you got. A wired or wireless wall thermometer, which I just mentioned.
Wi-Fi.
And then the third one is Wi-Fi. 1x6 is at a diagonal with a 1/2 inch between.
Yep.
Was blowing on the back of that thermistor, and the machine would go crazy and start shooting out. It would crank it up to 80 degrees because it was a breeze. You see, so that's the opposite of what you're saying.
Yeah.
The second thing that's going on that you're not used to is modulation, and it's super energy efficient. Everything you've seen before is a natural gas forced air thing. It goes 100%. When it has a call, I don't care if it's 1 degree off or 15 degrees off.
Yep.
The valve goes open, gas comes in, the flame hits that firebox, it goes 100%. And then the fan turns on, 100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, it's just blowing like crazy, and that's why it's noisy, and that's why it's energy inefficient. This guy, when it turns on, it gets the call, it starts at 20%. Your outdoor unit starts only at 20%. And it runs like that for minutes, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, feeling the air, saying, how we doing? So we're going to keep it's trying to get it up there and maybe overshoot by 1/2 degree, and then dial it in to 40% capacity and just keep it at 60%.
Okay.
And that's the sweet spot, right? The point is, be comfortable.
Yeah.
Just maybe try setting it, forget it for 2 months, and then in the fall try it again and set it and forget it, or no, do some programming and see if you can see any delta.
I like it now that I'm used to it because it's consistently warmer than it used to be. Do you know what I mean?
Quieter, right? It's not blasting. You don't have to turn up the TV when the fan comes on.
And I used to struggle with super dry sinuses at night too, because I sleep more near the blast of the furnace air. Yeah, and so that's a lot less now.
Yeah, dust and allergies as well. That's another big pro.
Well, let's talk about the settings I'd recommend for you. I think I already told you putting it on automatic fan.
Yes.
Whereas if it's on auto fan, it's right there at 20 decibels, you know, maybe 23. So it's much more subtle.
Maybe it'll get it further out from the corner, and that seemed to work better. And then, what was the other one?
The ceiling fan helped, but sometimes we forget to put that on. So you might have to,
Especially because I hang out on that couch, so sometimes I don't want the ceiling fan and I want all the heat for myself. So
having that option.
I'm like, don't turn on the ceiling fan. I like being a toaster over